Hello friends, welcome to DataMaking. In the previous videos, we installed Python and the MySQL on the Ubuntu operating system. Please refer that video and come back to here for the next software which we are going to software or framework we are going to install is Apache Hadoop. To install Apache Hadoop, the mandatory thing mandatory runtime is Java. We need to install Java as well. So we'll start with the Java, then followed by Hadoop. Okay, so you have to launch your virtual machine, which I already did. I want to run those commands from putty session. So just to know the IP address of my machine, run a command called ifconfig. So if you want to connect your IP, you can just run your commands here as well. Okay, just copy your commands to your host machine, sorry, your virtual machine. Then you can start using the command here, or you can type if you want to manually type, right? So I want to do it in putty. So to connect your virtual machine via putty, we need to install, we need to enable the adapter, network adapter, host only adapter, and then install the OpenSSH client and server, which we have done in the Python installation on VM. Please go and refer it and come back here. Now we have a virtual machine. Let's connect that virtual machine. So using the IP address 192.168.56.102. My username is DataMaking. It is asking for password. The same DataMaking is the password for this. So I'm just following this project setup instruction. Just follow this. So we done these two steps. We are going with the Hadoop installation followed by Spark and Kafka. So now let's open this docs folder and open the install Apache Hadoop 3 underscore v1.txt file. To start with Java installation, just before we are going to install the Open Jdk 8 1.8. So first we'll run this package index update package index command, which is a sudo apt update. So it is asking for sudo password, which is also data making, all in small case. Okay, so it'll update your Ubuntu local package index. So if you want to download some repository, want a repository, update the repository and want to download some packages, it will do. So which we already done the in the previous step also, so it is completed very fast. So now the next command, we are going to install sudo apt install open jdk-8 j open jdk-8 jdk. So it is going to consume some 162 MB of additional space. I'll say yes, continue. So now it is going to download your Open JDK Java JDK packages, and then it will start install. So this might take some time based on your internet bandwidth. So mine is progressing fast. So 968% is completed. It is reaching to 75. Okay, it's almost completed. So once the Java is installed, the Open JDK we installed using this command, right? Uh, sudo apt install Open JDK-8-JDK. So by default, it installs this location usr/lib/jvm slash openjdk open sorry java -8 openjdk amd64. This is the location to install. Now we need to set the Java home environment variable in your bash rc file. So just open a nano tilde symbol is to just refer the home. Inside home folder, I have bash rc dot bash rc file. Just scroll down to the bottom, just paste your Java home environment variable. Just we are going to export that, and the control O, enter. It is up. It will append the whatever the content we put, and control X to come out of it. Just refresh to affect the home setting, Java home setting path. You can just do echo of dollar Java home. It is set. Now Java -version. What is that? Just hyphen, not a double hyphen. So it is installed Open Jdk 1.8.0 underscore 312. Good. Now let's start with the Java Hadoop installation. So before we install Hadoop software, we need to install the uh, basically Open SSH so connection for Open SSH connection. We need to generate the passwordless login. So what happens is, since it's a distributed framework, computing framework, the Hadoop is, there are multiple process, Java process communicate each other. So they want to don't want to, because we set the password for data making user. So we want to connect this user between different services. We need to create a passwordless login so that they can communicate. So we need to generate the RSA key, private key, and add it to the authorized key file so that the connection between the different process will have without any problem. Okay, for that we just have to install. First, we need to install the OpenSSH server and client, which we already done in the Python installation. You can ignore if you already done. Otherwise, do this step, run this command. And then there is a utility called SSH-keygen. Using that, we generating RSA key. So just don't give any name, just say enter. So this is the random image which is fingerprint or the public key which is getting generated, right? Now add this, copy this uh, RSA underscore pub. So if you check the home directory, data making hyphen sh, so you will have file called id underscore rsa dot pub, which will have the key file. You just copy that and append it to the same location you have authorized to file. You have to go and append this so that our passwordless login will happen. Now try this SSH localhost. Do you want to continue? It's also not as prompting for password, right? So I actually did not do SSH before adding this key to the authorized key file. Just try before running this cat command. Try to do SSH localhost. It will prompt you. It will ask you for the. It will prompt for the entering the password. Now it is not entering because we created the uh, public key and we added to the authorized key. Right now, all the process can communicate each other without this password for the data making user. Okay, that's step also done. Now we need to download the Hadoop software. For that, we just create a folders in our home directory. So I am in user home data making. So inside that, I'm creating a one folder called work area / software. Okay, so you can have your own directories, but just change the steps in the subsequent commands. Okay, so I just navigate to this folder and we are going to download this uh, Hadoop folder from this URL. So just open it in your browser. Just to, you can run the directly the wget command, but if you want to see what is the version of Java we are the Hadoop we are installing, just download this. Sorry, open this uh, URL, and what is the version of Hadoop we are trying to install. Open Notepad. Okay, so 3.2.4 is the version we are going to install. So this is the latest version. Actually, this 3.3 is the latest version, but there is some latest update has happened in this. So I'm taking this July 2022 July 22 release. So you can go. So basically, we need to install Hadoop 3 because we are going to install the latest version of Spark, which is Spark 3.3.0, which is built a pre-built Spark binaries available for the Hadoop 3 version. So we have to install either Hadoop 3.24 or Hadoop 3.3. Okay, your wish. So I'm going with a Hadoop 3.2.4. So You just take this URL, go to click on this. So you have to download the binary, not the source file. Click this and take this URL. So I already did here, just do the duplicate. So it is around 470 MB of file size. It will take some time based on your internet bandwidth. Meanwhile, I'll tell you the next step what I'm going to do. So if it is in different path, you can use the move command. Since I'm in the software folder, it is there already here, so you don't need to run this move command. If you are downloaded from different folder, you can just move it to the software folders. And we are going to extract using the star command, star -x xzvf space, give the file name. So it is extracting. Once it's extracted, we are going to set some Hadoop related home environment variables for your Hadoop files. There are multiple files which you can access to start the Hadoop services. For that, we have to set this environment variable. Otherwise, you have to go to the respective file and run those scripts. Right? Instead of that, if you set this environment variable, you can run those scripts from anywhere, any location from the virtual machine. Right? So again, we launch nano root tilde is refer root directory and dot bash rc. So just again come to the bottom of the file and I ran this. Okay, good. Okay, now I just say Control O, enter, Control X, and also I will just source it so that the environment will be refreshed. Environment variable will be refreshed. Good, we have done this step. You can just check the before modifying the configuration file. You can check the version of Hadoop we downloaded. Just make sure it 3.2.4. Now, so what we need to do is there are certain configuration file we need to modify and then start configuring. So basically, when you install Hadoop, you are going to get two main components. One is HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, which is the distributed storage component, and we are going to have the as a MapReduce as a computing framework, and it comes with the Yarn as a resource manager. So these three will come when you install Hadoop. So for that, we have to modify a few configuration files. So we'll start with the those configuration all exist in this directory, config directory, which is the inside your root installation of Hadoop. You have a folder called etc then Hadoop. So inside it, there are multiple configuration files. We are going to update few of the things. So first thing is we will launch this using the nano editor, the Hadoop env.sh file. So we need to set this Java home directory here. It is not there here. Just remove this and put it here Java home, which is our default location of Open Jdk 1.8. Okay, sorry, I just Control X I did, it got deleted. Okay, I repasted. Control O is to update it. So the next file we are going to modify is core site.xml, where we need to specify the temporary location for your Hadoop files and then the HDFS RPC port. So when you want to connect HDFS using programmatically, you're going to connect this RPC port 9000 using the localhost as a host name. So for that we have to update this core.xml file. So just check you have core.xml in this. We already have it here. So we just let's go to this location. So you can give the full path and give the file name, or you just go to that location so that you don't need to cover the path. So I am in this location and files are here. Now run this nano core settings. So we have already the configuration tag. Inside the configuration, just put this property tag, two property tags. That's it. So this change is done. The next change will be we need to create two folders to store the name node and data node related metadata files. So name node, data node are the two process which is refer the storage component databases, which is HDFS related process. For this, we are going to create this root structure. Basically, inside our software folders, we are creating Hadoop data underscore name node, sorry, slash name node, Hadoop underscore data slash name node. Similarly, for data node, also one folder we are creating, and then setting the user, the ownership for the data making user to that location. Now there is another directory, another file called Hadoop cited XML, where we will be saying what is the default block size, sorry, replication factor, and also the name node and data node location where it has to save the metadata files. My default replication factor is 3. Since we have only single node VM, so we are setting up 1. Otherwise, we can set as per your cluster configuration. So next file, so we open this and paste this and save it. So the next file we are going to modify is the mapreduce.setXML, where we'll say the MapReduce framework is we are going to use the yarn. Okay, set this property. Okay, now the one of the important configuration file is yarn.xml. Open this and set the other. So one is the web UI for web address for the resource manager. I'll just say this is, and other some configurations. Just open. We already opened. Just paste this. Okay, all this are done. Now, before running your name node format command, we just set the ownership for this location. Now the final step will be we need to format the STFs so that all this the before using the STFs, you just format it so that all the basic setup is done. So basically, the name node process to refer the name node folder to write the configuration files or metadata files. Similarly for data node also. So it's kind of a beginning for your. So once this is a one-time activity, you should not do run the name node format for every time because it will override the data stored in STFS. So it's recommended to do only once. So if when you do format a data name node, it will format it. It's kind of storage format, disk format. So all the data will be wiped off from the STFS. So first only one time we have to do. Okay, and then now we have to start our Hadoop related daemons. So there are multiple daemons for storage, name node and name node and data node we need to start. And for the resource manager, you need to start resource manager and node manager for yarn related components. And the secondary name node also is HDFS related. So there are two shell script we need to run. One is start dfs.sh. So I am running from this location. You see, this file is in different location in a bin location. But since I am running from here because we set the Hadoop related environment variables. Okay, now it is starting this. Once this is started, you can run the JPS command to know the running Java process. So these three processes for name node, and then this is for resource manager. Okay, this is also done. So then you can run the JPS command to know all this process running. Good, running. Now you can launch the in the virtual machine. You can run using the localhost. In the host machine, if you're trying, so it should be 192 192.168.56.102 and 9872, I guess, right? 9870 is the web IP address for the web HTTP port for name node web UI. So this is the name node web UI. You can also use this utilities for uh, uh, drop down and click on the browse file system. So in the root directory of STFS, we don't have anything. This is because we just formatted our STFS, right? So we'll start creating the files inside this and we'll check it later. So installation is more done. Now we are going to start one more. Okay, you can check this also, resource manager web UI, which is also same 192 dot right, IP address colon 8088. So this is not starting. So what we'll do is here. So there is some problem accessing the yarn web UI from outside. So let's try one more configuration. So in the last, okay, so there is a file called just go to the software or career software Hadoop, Hadoop as in 3 point, right? Inside that go to etc Hadoop, just nano, there is a yarn site.xml. Just instead of localhost 8088, let's put sorry, this one, just put 0.0. Okay, 0 dot, I'm sorry, 0.0.0.0 and save this. Now let's just check it here also. Actually, we should have done it here also. Not a problem. So our changes are here. Now stop the yarn related process using the stop yarn.sh and JPS. So only name storage related components are running. Start the yarn again. Okay, now let's do this installation. Okay, we started, right? Let's run the JPS command. So this all started. Now let's try this URL. Okay, yeah. So once you give the IP as 0.0.0, we were able to connect this yarn web UI, right? That's good. Now let's do the last step. For history server, we need to run this command. So it's asking that's deprecated. You can run this mapped daemon daemon dot start is a command which you need to use. So basically, anyway, this is also working, but it's deprecated. Future that will not be working. So then just this one you can try instead of localhost. You have to try it as if inside the VM you can use the localhost, but here outside 192.168 dot 56.102. So history server web UI also working. So these are the way you need to make sure that Hadoop services are running fine. Okay. So the Hadoop installation is successfully done. See you in the next video, friends.